Hey everybody, it is about 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. I spent last night working a ton on getting the aliens all over the map. I've got all of them except for the row of the most expensive one. That's right where I stopped and finally got some sleep last night. I think I'm up to about 13 hours of sleep total over the past 4 days. It was like 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours, 4 hours, and then 4 hours that I slept. Um, but you can see I've got a lot of these set up in here. Like this is one of the cheaper ones with the lasers. Um, and what I did is I put this little skip brush to kind of give me a rough outline of where it's going to be firing because it just goes out in a straight line from this particle effect. So I had it lined up so that it was going to be hitting the bottom edge of this thing and doing its little particle effect, and that's already going to be hitting on fire and stuff like that. So I think it'll look neat. I've got a bunch of these. I'm kind of having them like just shooting up into the air just to give it some effects while you're playing the map. Like I got this one stuck to the chain link fence here and shooting in between all of these just so when you're on the map and you're running around, you see a little laser and it might get your attention. You look back here and go, oh, wow, there's a dude on the chain link fence. So far in my testing, it's actually not super noticeable, all of this, which is kind of hilarious considering how much work it's been. But I think I'm going to make them fire more often than I have. Right now it's been pretty rare that they fire. But I might just make it a constant stream. Oh man, I just got a terrible idea. It would be cool if I made it so the later in the match it got, the more they fired, so it would get more intense. But I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. No, shut up. You can't make me do that. So I'm probably just gonna have it be more rapid fire. I'm also thinking about setting it so none of the events happen until after at least one capture, and that'll be what kind of starts things. And the goal of these things that I'm putting in there is that they're trying to take out the lasers here. Because I don't think I've actually showed this off yet, but near the end of the round when the mothership comes in, depending on which team is holding the point, this side for blue will open up, this part folds down, and these pieces fan out, and this laser comes up and rotates into this position here where it's at right now. And on this side, it's actually pretty freaking neat. These halves split open completely and reveal the laser in there. And there's like a little siren light and stuff like that that happens on the map. And then at the end of the round, whoever wins, a laser shoots up and hits the mothership, and the mothership explodes and falls over with a bunch of neat sound effects. And then the aliens are all going to pop right around the same time that it's falling over. So it's going to be pretty active. But here, I'm going to show you really quick how I've been doing these. Now, of course, I just turned off my skip brushes. Right now, it's all grouped together. This is one of the expensive ones. I don't really have a place for this yet, so let's go find one. So all I've been doing is cutting it out of there and finding a good spot for it here. I kind of would like a pretty flat surface for it. But I want it aimed up a little bit too. So maybe we'll put it here or so. Now the problem I have with these frickin' measuring things is if you look here, it's insanely huge. So I have to line it up. Whoops, my mouse has been buggy lately. I think my mouse might be dying. Line it up and then line it up again. That's actually not a bad place for that. And of course, for some frickin' reason, the mouse movement gets reversed when you do this. So I would like that to tip up. I think I want to make it actually hit that. I don't know if this is going to be visible from anywhere, though. Oh yeah, you can see that really easily when you're up on the platform there. Now, the teleport particle effect I don't want that to angle, so I go in here and I unselect it, and then I move this whole big bastard up, and then I move it back into place. Whoa, what happened? I think I broke it. Yeah, I messed that way up. Okay, and I just rough estimate it. That looks about right where I want it. Let's see if I can get the feet to line up nicely. And if the laser ends up getting a little off, it's not a big deal. If the feet aren't perfect, it's pretty far away, so you're not going to be able to see it that well. It's in the dark. They have those little glowy eyes. That's the main thing you see, and you see the particle effect, and then you kind of faintly see an outline of them a lot of times. But yeah, you'll be able to see that real well, and you'll be able to shoot at it from right on this platform here. And I believe as you're coming up, yep, you'll be able to see it there too. The butt end of it. That's floating a little bit, but it's close enough. And this is one of the destructible ones with the fancy particle effects. Or not particle effects, the fancy, the expensive particle effects. Okay, I believe that was my teleporter again. I'm going to give this a tiny bit of rotation. Whoops. And put it back. Reline it up. I like the idea of that foot hanging on in the front there. Even though, like I just said, you can't really see it that well, but I am a perfectionist. Okay. So it's got a little bit of rotation. Yeah. And now I need to select, I believe that is my teleport now. Yep. And I just need to move this back to the middle. The explosion particle is also in the middle here, so that's one thing I have to watch out for, not moving. That one can stay in a weird position, but that's right center. Okay. So that one's set up, and basically I just do that with every single one. It's easier if I don't have to rotate it on the Z-axis at all, because then I think it's Z-axis. I'm really terrible at the XYZ axis. I think it's Y. It depends on... Shut up. I'm just going to cut this part. You don't even need to talk about it. It's easier to not have to rotate them up and down at all, and then not have to worry about the teleport. But I like to give them a little bit of effect like that. Wow. I'm tired. Hold on. I need coffee. I made that a really loud sip so you could hear it. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. This will just be a short little update. Or that was probably like 10 minutes. I don't even know. I ramble. Oh, it says it has a time. That was 7.5 minutes. Jesus Christ. Yep, this update is done. I'm just trailing off now. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to get these ones in here. I got 7 left. I just did that one. And after that, I got a bunch of tweaks. I get all the timings right for the events. Get the trigger set up so the events work, and that's about it. So I will see you in part whatever the hell we're on, the next one. I'll see you in the part that it comes after this one. Okay, bye.